I am by no means a professional. I am a beginner. So these are beginner tips for a beginner. Let's just say that now. I want to get comfy. I want to sit down like a chit chat. So when I first started running, I had no idea what I was doing. I was basically sprinting occasionally after my lifts or before my lifts, but I had no proper planning, okay? But I really, within this past year, really wanted to get into more long distance running, more working on my form, breathing. I wanted to do it the right way. So I learned some things along the way that I just wanted to share with you in hopes that they help. I often come to YouTube for help, so hopefully I can return the favor to YouTube and help somebody. When I first started running, I initially started off with a 5K, bumped my way up to a 10K, and now I just recently ran my first half marathon, which is so exciting to say. People ask me, am I going to run a full marathon now? I don't know. I haven't even ran post-marathon. I've done a lot of walking, I'm lifting. I just currently left the gym and I'm disgusting because I just came out of the sauna. I really wanted to record this for you and get this done because I do work tonight, and I just wanted to, get this up as quick as possible so I can help somebody. If you find this helpful, let me know. If you find anything that I say that you may have some science to back it up and whatever, I'm nobody, okay? So don't fight me. I don't know. I'm not an expert. This is just my personal running journey advice. I am a nurse. I am by no means a runner. I am by no means a professional. I never did track. I have no running background. I'm 30 years old, so I don't know. Okay? So don't shoot me if I say anything wrong. So like I said, I started sprinting initially. I really wanted to get into more long distance running because for 3 reasons. I wanted to build my endurance. My endurance sucked. I couldn't run for a long period of time. I could only run for short periods of time. I wanted to build my mental toughness. I had heard that running just takes a lot of mental toughness, and it's very true, because when you get 2 minutes in and you want to quit, those voices are telling you to quit, and you have to have the power and the strength to shut those voices up and keep going. So I wanted to build my mental toughness, and then I wanted to push my abilities. I can do it. I want to see how far I can do it, right? But I started easy. I started slow. I started with the basics, trying to build foundations. I did a lot of lifting. I kind of tweaked it to build some runner strength. My calves, I had to get a little stronger. I had to learn my form. I had to learn all of these things. 3 reasons why I started running long distance are mental toughness, to push my endurance, and what was the third one? Push my limits, see how far I can do it, What apps did I use to train? I just used the Nike Run app. It's free. I love free, okay? I downloaded Strava, then realized you had to pay for Strava. I then deleted Strava. I know, Strava is probably a really good app, but what did I say? I like free. So we stuck with the Nike Run app. It really worked. It did what it had to do. You put your date that you want to run. You kind of pick what plan you want to run. You want to do a 5K, 10K, full marathon, half marathon. You put all of that in there and it generates this kind of plan. It gives you about 5 runs a week. 1 long run, 2 interval sprinting runs, and then 2 easier runs or recovery runs. I didn't always hit all of those runs. Actually, I never hit all of those runs, if you want me to be honest. I lift also. So I lifted about 2 to 3 weeks, and I lifted about 2 to 3 days a week, and I lifted about 2 to 3 days a week. So, and sometimes, hey, I just did my best, okay? But one thing I always made sure to do was to get in my long run and to get in 1 recovery run. If I couldn't do nothing else, a long and a recovery, that was my bare minimum, okay? And it did what it had to do. So what essentials do you need to get started? I feel like you don't need a lot to get started because you just need your body, and as long as it's working, that's step 1. I would, if you can, get some running shoes. I would go to a running store and get your stride tested and see what shoes works best. Yes, you can go and see what the cutest trendiest running shoes are, but everyone's feet hit the ground a little different. And I feel like you will get the most out of your running shoe, out of your running in general, if you have a shoe that works for your foot and your stride and all of those things. Remember, I don't know. Go to a running store, have them assess your gait, and they will give recommendations based on if your feet kind of go this way when you run, this way, if you land on your heel. Okay, so a good running shoe, I would recommend a training plan. So the Nike Run app, like I said, is free. And I would also recommend electrolytes or salts. Salts, it's just salt you can put in your food. You can put in your water. Just add more salt. If you have the money to buy some like extra electrolytes, I would say do that, because when you run, especially in your long runs, you're getting rid of a lot. So you need to replace it. And yes, you can drink water, but water is not really much without electrolytes. Water is not really much without electrolytes. So you need the combination of the two. Okay? You can get Liquid IV. There's a million other ones. I use BPN. Some other things that I feel like you could benefit from, but you don't necessarily need, is a watch. The Nike Run app does track your location, and it tracks like your paces and all of that stuff. So as long as you have your phone on you, you don't necessarily need a watch, but I find a watch helpful. Dabbling into the fuel world, you do need fuel, but there are free or cheaper ways to fuel. My personal favorite is Honey Stinger. I like their waffles. I like their gels. There's some ones that are questionable, but some of the gels have caffeine in them. Mostly, though, you're looking for quick, easy, digestible carbs, something like that, okay? Carbs give you energy, so you want to quickly be able to break down the carbs and replenish that energy tank and keep your body going, because I'm sure back in the day, people trained with nothing. I'm sure David Goggins was one of those guys who, you know, actually he was. When he first started running, he didn't even know. He was just doing it, okay? Especially if you're a girl, take care of your body. Give your body what it needs. We're hard working beings, okay? We do a lot. Our bodies do a lot, and we don't need to stress our bodies out more. So that was a tangent, but another thing that I find is really helpful is a running vest. You don't have to have a running vest. I like it. I like it because my water's on my back. You can have a bladder on the back, and it comes like with a straw up, and you can just, you know, it's not my favorite thing. It took me a second to get used to, but also running with my hand is not my favorite thing at all. So I also put like my phone, I put my key, I put my gels, my gum, whatever I need, I put it in my pockets, and then my hands are free, and my focus is just focus, right? It takes so much focus to focus sometimes, and running takes so much. And for me, if I could just take everything else out of my brain and focus just on the run, focus just on my, my posture, focus on my breathing, that's enough. Okay, that's enough. Coming from me, a new beginner runner, that's enough. Some people also get like the backpacks, like the running vest, but put water bottles in it. To each your own. I just want you to hydrate. I just want you to fuel, and I just want you to be your best self. I also, for my shorter runs, have like a running, like a waist, like a belt pouch. I don't know, but I have one of those, and I don't put as much in it, and I have like a water bottle. Shorter runs, I don't need that much, but my longer runs, I need that much, or maybe I think I do. Either way, that's what I use, okay? So again, those aren't the necessities, but I feel like they do make things a little nicer for you. What helped me the most? Things that helped me the most, I feel like creating a playlist with hype music, inspirational music, positive music, good beats. I think that listening to David Goggins, I read his books also, but listening to like him on YouTube, where you can find like podcasts with like just like snippets of him and other people, like he makes you feel like, I don't know, some people don't like him, and I get it, but you just find what works for you. I personally like David Goggins. I personally like the way that he talks to people, to himself. It's that fire that I need, okay? Everyone, like I said, it needs a little differently, but find what works for you. Some people listen to audiobooks while they run. I never found that to be helpful for myself, just because I don't know why. I don't even think I tried it. Another thing that helped me is not being scared to run slow. You see all these people on Instagram, TikTok, whatever, YouTube, and their paces are crazy, okay? I want you to dial that back and not worry about anybody else but yourself. Your pace is your pace. And as long as your feet are moving, that is literally all that matters. Your time does not matter. When you first start running, there's a coach in the Nike Run app. His name is Coach Bennett. He literally tells you like the only way to get faster is to go slower. You have to go slower to be faster. And I feel like I processed that thought so many times, because I would be running on trails and people would pass me, and I would be like, oh my God, like the voices and the thoughts would come in, and it's like, no, you're doing great. You're doing so great. You're doing so great, and you're doing it slow, and you're doing it the right way. Starting out slow is the right way to start every run. Quote unquote, Coach Bennett. Also, another thing is having a supportive circle. I feel like in life, no matter what you're doing, having people around you who love you, care, and support your goals are the top tier people you can have, okay? One way to ruin everything that you want is to have people who just have a bad taste for you, you know? Everything that you say, they knock you down. They don't want to celebrate you. They don't want to support you. That's just not the people to have. So when you have a hard goal and you have something in front of you that feels you maybe out of reach, it's so important to have people there to support and encourage you 100%, even if it's one person, even if it's yourself, okay? Even if you have to get rid of everybody and only have yourself, that's all you need. That is literally all you need. You can take yourself so far, okay? Don't think that you have to find these group of friends. My circle is that big. I don't even know if my circle is a circle because I feel like it would have to have more people to be a circle, but don't let nobody knock your shine. Now, I did travel to Las Vegas for my half marathon. It was the only run I actually traveled to. I learned a lot. I'll be able to prepare better for the next run because of it. But if you don't do it the first time, you're never going to learn. So here are some traveling when you're running tips. Here are some tips when you travel for a run. Okay? I would say bring the things that you normally use. The shoes you normally wear, the vests, the gels, everything you normally do, the fits. Don't try to do something new on race day. That is the worst time to do something new. If you're going to do something new, I want you to do it 2 weeks before, okay? I want you to try it 2 weeks before. Come to the location about 2 days before your actual run so you can acclimate to the area. You will be able to drive the route, check things out, scope the scene, vibe out, acclimate your body a little bit, okay? You don't want to come in and just race. Come in and chill, get going, you know? Make sure you know if your hotel you're staying in has a microwave and or a refrigerator, because when you pack certain snacks and foods and fuel, you're going to kind of need to know what you're having, or if you need to go, you need to set yourself up for success. So know what you have, and if you have like a breakfast, if you can go down there, kind of map out your plan. I would say get a hotel that's close to the route, because the last thing I wanted to do was walk afterwards. Bring comfy clothes and shoes for afterwards. Slides, some sort of slides, slippers, really. Tennis shoes, you're going to want them off. You're going to want them so off. I would also say pack your massage gun, pack any recovery devices, foam rollers, anything you have for your recovery that you use. I would say pack those, bring those. You're going to want them. And I also stayed one extra night at the hotel. So we raced, we got done, and then I stayed that night, and then I traveled back home on the next day. I would recommend not traveling home right after the race unless it's just like a quick drive. But if you have to like actually fly, I don't know. I wanted to come back and I wanted to sleep and eat. I did not want to have to pack up and travel immediately. Like, the last thing I wanted to do was walk anymore. Those are my tips. I hope that this helps somebody. If you have any extra tips, please let me know. If you feel like you can correct any of my tips, please do, okay? I am no professional. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just doing it and learning as I go. Hopefully this helped you, like I said. Yeah, I'll talk to you later.